As a lot of you may know, Ram is a statistician, and this sort of got me thinking about the probability and statistics of this whole thing. Like, what are the actual odds these two nerds would end up together? I mean, once upon a time, there was an 11-year-old Ram in Yardley, Pennsylvania, who taught himself 16 different programming languages. And over 7,000 miles away from him, an 11-year-old Alicia in New Delhi, India, had already memorized the first 25 digits of pi. Both of them joined the math team. Both of them went to super nerd schools, Ram to Columbia and Alicia to Brown, and somehow both ended up at UCLA within 3 blocks of each other before matching on the online dating app Hinge 6 years later. And the rest is history. I was thinking the other day about how things have worked out despite their differences, and if I were to apply a statistical framework to this, they sort of average out to within a standard deviation of the mean. For instance, Alicia has generalized anxiety disorder and Ram is chill. Alicia is small, Ram is not small. Ram has wildly uncontrolled gastritis, while Alicia has a chronic and functional enteritis. You know, front end versus back end. Alicia is bossy and Ram is malleable, but high value, sort of like gold. On a more serious note, I think that their differences average out to something a lot more extraordinary than the mean, and to something that makes the world a better place.
When Ram was born, October of 1987, his mother and I had barely been in the US for 6 months. Actually, you're right. So let me start again. When Ram was born in September of 1987, his mother and I had barely been in the US for 6 months and had only been on a payroll for 4 months. And since he was already expected when I began working in June, his delivery through C-section from my medical insurance's perspective was a pre-existing condition. And so was not covered. Luckily for us, we had connections in the healthcare space. Welcome,
thank you, Sherry.
Welcome to America. We're so glad that he did find Alicia. From the very first time we met her to this day, both of us have found her to be a wonderful person to interact with, and we both see how happy Ram is with her. Alicia, welcome to our family, and we hope that our penchant for sharing too much doesn't overwhelm you.
Thank you all for coming and sharing in this beautiful, wonderful day with us. As parents, some of you will appreciate that there are few things in life as confounding as the magic, mystery, and madness of loving and letting go. But this is one time in my life I found that when my kids got married, that I was not letting go of anything. I'm welcoming into our lives another beautiful child, a brand new person to love and cherish. Alicia, welcome to this crazy but loving family. Thank you for your sweet and accommodating nature and for loving Ram. My wish for Ram always, though, has been that he would remain a 5-year-old in a man's body. Never lose the awe about love, life, and the nature of being. My son is no longer a child. He's a man, a loving husband to a wonderful partner. We wish you both all the happiness and joy in the world. And thank you all for coming and putting up with my crying.
You once said that you think doctors are mostly just making things up. But I assure you that everything I say today is 100% true. To this day, it feels like magic that someone so funny, kind, wise, philosophizing, crypto-loving, and establishment-hating not only exists, but is my husband. I promise to be your teammate always, to listen, to recognize when I am wrong, to pitch in, and to work together to build our family and our home. Ron, I love you more than words can express. I promise to love you and to make sure you know each and every day from here on out how wonderful and deserving of love you are. Even though you only checked off 21 of the 22 boxes on my wish list.
Alicia Ranadive, on this day, I, Ram Vangala, pledge to you to be better than your average husband. Alicia, I promise to always love you truly, completely, unconditionally. I promise to love you when you insist that I turn right when you really mean left. I promise to love you when you agonize over what we should watch on Netflix, only to fall asleep before the opening credits. I promise to love you when you divide our shared meals equally, even though I'm twice your size. I promise to love you when you're anxious about whether my parents will find your egg biryani adequately spiced. Long story short, I promise to love you, to support you, to care for you, and to respect you under any and all circumstances, if you'll let me. Postscript, I can confirm that I have been living up to these vows, and I intend to continue living up to them for at least another year or two.
Alicia and I met in our first year of residency at UCLA and became fast friends. I would say she won me over with her fast wit, impressive Harry Potter knowledge, and outstanding patient care, but we mainly bonded over our joint and numerous dislikes. Over the years, she has become like a sister to me, and though I toyed with the idea of keeping her all to myself forever, I always hoped for her to meet the one. After getting to know Ram, there were two very obvious standout traits. He is incredibly intelligent, the only man I know who does math theories at lunch for fun. And he was completely in love and in awe of my best friend. But as I got to know him more, I see that he is kind, hilarious, with sharp comedic timing, and as ruthless as board games as Alicia, which is quite a feat. It was very clear that he was her person, and I speak for all of the hungry girls when I say, when I saw that we have loved watching you two grow and build a wonderful life together. We're so excited to see the next great things life has to offer you, and I wish you a lifetime of happiness together.
I've known Ram for over 20 years. We met on the first day of school, all the way back in 2001, in New Jersey, when we were both 14 years old. We shared a room together. We lived the highs, the lows, and the absurdities of the New England boarding school experience. It should surprise no one that Ram always had a penchant for the cerebral. After obtaining his master's, Ram moved to LA and put his brain power to work for the UCLA Biostat department. But far from adopting a stereotypical LA lifestyle, Ram's first apartment in the city saw him living the life of a single man. A very single man. As in, there was exactly one of everything in his apartment. One chair, one cup, one Brita bottle, one knife, one fork, one stick of Old Spice deodorant, and one bottle of Listerine. Miraculously, however, in the years since, as we all know, Ram's had the very good fortune of meeting Alicia. Beautiful, kind, intelligent, and worldly. We've loved seeing the effect she's had on the cockroach human we once knew as Ram. She brings out the best in him and enriches his life with her sense of fun and adventure. We're so happy to see you guys today. Please join me in toasting the newlyweds. And here's to hoping we see Alicia being in charge of procuring 2, 3, 4, or even 5 sets of cutleries in the Vangala Ranadive household. Cheers.